there are many new technological advances in finding better solutions for detecting resistance markers and resistance pathogens, but some of them are very expensive and not easy to implement in the workload in a normal, not a huge lab. And that's why this new equipment is easy to use and the cost is not very high. So that's why it's easy to implement in an average microbiology lab, this technique.
For us, the next step will be to develop a new device against other targets, because at this time we develop tests for the ESBL on carbapenemases and for other antimicrobial resistances. But as you probably know, for the lateral flow immunoassay, we only detect where we are looking for. So now the next step will be to detect everything. That means we try to now develop tests which detect the enzymatic activity. Yes, I think this will be the next step for us, for my team.
I will say all the countries in Europe has implemented a plan, a national plan to control or to combat antimicrobial resistance. In this sense, we have to mention that there are two levels of action. One is the community outside of the hospital, and the second level is inside of the hospital. In both levels, a rapid detection of antimicrobial resistance is very important. And the importance is due to the fact that if you rapidly detect the microorganism causing the infection and the mechanism of resistance of these microorganisms, you can provide a more adequate antimicrobial therapy, either for infections in the community or infections in the hospital.
So currently at NGBTech we have two lateral flows, the Carba5 and the CTXM Multi, plus the MCR1. In the AMR detector, what we are doing is transforming these two devices, the Carba5 and the CTXM Multi, into a device able to detect directly from clinical samples. Plus, we are validating 3 other devices that will detect vancomycin resistance and will complement our other 2 devices. In this way, our company cannot do much about antibiotic development, but this way, with all our tests, it will allow that those antibiotics that have already been developed are used optimally, are better used, and that that we will help to prevent carbapenems to be used when they are not necessary. So in the end, we'll be helping antibiotics indirectly by expanding their useful life.
The main conclusions and strategies that have been discussed during this Congress is to extend the number of targets, number of resistances that are detected by this tool. We had the 2 first targets, which are the most important ones, but there are some other targets that need to be rapidly identified, and now we will focus on these issues. And of course, one important point of this kind of Congress and consortia is to inform the general public of the effort that the different governments and the European Union are doing by providing support for this kind of work.